Hi there, welcome to PowerDrift. I want to talk to you today about fast hatchbacks. You see, they are becoming way more mainstream than ever before, and on one end you have cars like the Polo GT and the Punto Abarth, and then you have manufacturers like Maruti that are coming in with the Baleno RS. But then there is Ford. Now the Figo has always been quite a sporty car, but Ford have decided to unleash it a bit and give it a bit more oomph with the Ford Figo S. Let's check it out. Externally, here are the differences. Well, it's got slatherings of black all around. It's got a black honeycomb grille. It's got black inserts on the headlamp bezel. It's got graphics on the side. It's got a black roof, and to top it off, a rear spoiler. But here's one gripe that I have with the car, and that is that this car is not available in Ford's Racing Baby Blue. Now that would have been pretty cool. But the biggest change of all is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Ford have fitted an all-new tuned suspension for the car. They said they've stiffened up the anti-roll bars, they've dropped it by about 10 millimeters, but that hasn't affected the ground clearance. It's still at 174 millimeters. Now these changes have been done to accommodate these bigger 15-inch tires as opposed to the 14-inch tires. So these tires have a larger profile at 195 millimeters as opposed to 175 that sits on the 14-inch. Now Ford tell us that this has altered the driving characteristics and made it a lot more sportier to drive. And there's only one way to find out. Let's go for one.
Alright guys, so here I am in the passenger seat, and I thought it would be a good time to tell you what has really changed on the interior. The seats, everything is exactly the same, but you've got things like a piano black finish on the inserts that give it a more sporty feel. You have red stitching on the gear lever and the emphasize on the sportiness. One of my biggest gripes with the Ford Figo is it has always lacked good infotainment options, and I'm afraid it still sort of continues with this one. The last time I saw a keypad like this, it was on dial-up phones from the 90s. So in that sense, it isn't the most elegant infotainment solution. One of the things that Ford have very proudly advertised with this car is the air conditioning. They claim that it's one of the best in class. Now, of course, I can't compare it right now at this stage with other cars in this class, but what I can tell you is so far, my Snickers bar hasn't melted. So here I am in the driver's seat of the Ford Figo Sport. Now, right off the bat, I have to mention, we at PowerDrift are a little bit biased towards the Ford Figo because we have 3 of them in the office. We use it as a tracking car, and what makes the Figo so great is that it is extremely stable at high speeds, it drives really well, it's comfortable, and it's got a great practical boot. The engine, well, I'm driving the 1.5 diesel. It produces 100 PS, which is about 98 bhp, and 250 Newton meters of torque. And petrol heads rejoice because this car only comes with a 5-speed manual, no automatic. There are a lot of cars in the market that are, well, fast hatchbacks, but there isn't much that's really done to the suspension and the tire setup, which makes the power less exploitable at high speed, which means that they aren't really, well, great fun to drive around at high speeds. What Ford have done, on the other hand, is something very different. They have improved on where it really matters, which is the suspension and tire setup, and that's critical because the bigger contact patch you have on the road, the more grip you have, the more feedback you get. Having stiffer suspension gives you more confidence as a driver to push the car in corners and to really exploit more performance out of it. Really comes alive after 1500 RPM. That's when the turbo spools. It always seems like it's in the sweet spot. Like for now, I'm in 5th gear, cruising at 70, put my foot down, and the car immediately lunges forward. It's just so much fun to drive. Now with all the changes, the Ford Figo Sport weighs about 20 kgs more than the standard version, and as a result, fuel efficiency has been impacted a little bit by about 1.3 kilometers per litre. So it's now rated to around 23 kilometers per litre. What Ford have done is essentially taken a good driving car and just made it better. So full thumbs up for that.
Alright guys, so here we are at the run of Kutch. Let's let the Figo loose. This is so much and gentlemen, if this sounds impressive, here is the kicker. This car can be yours for a tantalizing price of just 7.2 lakh rupees ex-showroom New Delhi, which is about 50,000 rupees more than the titanium version of this car. For that price, you get a 100 bhp diesel hatch that is practical, that is safe, that is comfortable and drives really well. The car does have a few glaring issues, mainly two of them. The first thing is that infotainment system. The My Dock feature, well, it sort of works, but the system itself is just too rudimentary to be competitive in a market like today. The second thing is that this car doesn't have parking sensors. It's got a perimeter alarm, but no parking sensors. And with a beautiful coat of white paint like this, it's a bit of a no-no. That being said, I really like this car, and you can let us know what you thought about this car in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this quick preview of the new Ford Figo S, and don't forget to stay subscribed to PowerDrift, the home of the automotive enthusiast, where we have fresh content delivered to you because we love you. I will see you in a bit. Bye-bye.